Every day, more and more road users are filming their journeys, which can often end in disaster. Pioneered by motorists in Russia and Eastern Europe, dashboard-mounted cameras are constantly recording our behavior on the roads. From the bizarre, to the ridiculous, the funny, to the downright dangerous. The thousands and thousands of dash cams around the world have captured just about every mishap you can think of. Now we're going to delve into this treasure trove of stupidity on the roads. Put things right by pointing the finger of blame. Replay the action to see what really happened. And of course, there's nothing like seeing other people's mistakes when it comes to helping us become better drivers. And please remember, on all the clips, yes, that's all the clips we show, no one, and that means no one, is seriously hurt. So drive safely. Not everyone is this lucky. Coming up on this episode of Car Crash TV, more absolutely awful and abhorrent road use from all around this crazy planet we call Earth that, had it been isolated to the UK, would have resulted in the following contraventions of our highway code. Article 232, drive extremely carefully when the roads are icy. Avoid sudden actions, as these could cause loss of control. Article 166, do not overtake if there is any doubt or where you cannot see far enough ahead to be sure it is safe. The one about under no circumstances paying to park. And from Hear My Horn, my popular podcast on the intricacies of the car horn, episode 4, How to Tell a Jazz from a Civic. That's jazz! Snow. We all love it, don't we? The way it covers our world in a nice, warm, cozy blanket. How charming. What rot. Snow is evil, I tell you, because with it comes freezing fog, black ice, snowdrifts, and a myriad of other problems that impact our adventures out on the open road. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, a sprinkling of the white stuff for the discerning motorist is simply snow joke. One of my biggest beefs with snow is how it produces a pathological need in the populace to go sledging. And if you're in a toboggan, no problem. But a 4x4? No, I'm sorry, you need to grow up, pal, even if everyone was okay. Anyone else now have their own pathological need to powder their nose? Yes, when there's snow on the ground, I just end up feeling blue. The guy we're riding with knows what I'm talking about. Whilst this guy, less blue, more red due to that terrible, embarrassing faux pas. Can't blame the snow for that, pal. You're just at driving. Listen, mate, I know in these difficult economic times it's important to make some coin any way you can, but obscuring half your rear windscreen with an advert is a flagrant insult to a health and safety expert like myself. A healthy cash flow is no good if you can't spend it. Not only is your rear windscreen vision impaired, but in conditions like these, where streetlights are apparently at a premium, you're opening yourself up to close encounters with consumer-hungry commuters. Like this guy. Okay, now he knows where to go to get 50% off the Love Pump 3000 enhancement device. And thankfully, so do I. But at what cost, my friend? What cost? Yes, Neil, only $9.99 with that reduction. And I've stood next to you in the gents, so trust me when I say it would be worth every penny. And while that advert was dangerously positioned, it was staggeringly effective, as here we are at the Love Pump 3000 factory, where they're taking delivery of the crucial components required to produce what has been described as a lifesaver by Naughty Neil 27 on Twitter. But what should be a simple deposit into the loading bay is complicated by, you guessed it, snow! Phew, that's a relief. It's great to be back on track. We veered dangerously off message there. Countdown to Car Crash TV Gold in 46, 45, 44, 43. Wow, this is exciting. What could happen here? The possibilities are endless. But fortunately, we've got plenty of time to really soak up the tension. 29, 28, 27. Oh, for God's sake. Larder alert! Larder, Russian for killjoy. Okay, you can stop the timer now. It's just rubbing salt in the wound. Our fun is over. Now, I know I've been pretty down on snow in this segment, but it is good for one thing, making snow angels. Yes, you don't need to get your coat all wet. Just take your car on an impromptu off-roading trip, tip it on its side, and turn the wheel from left to right a few times. Magical! Merry Christmas, everyone! Capitalism really has ruined the world as we know it. It's just more all the time. Be it my children asking for more pocket money, my wife asking for more family allowance, or my assistant Neil asking for any sort of wage. Neil, until you start being of use, you get nothing. And that desire for more has made its way onto the roads, which is causing multi-lane mayhem. Neil, stop begging. It isn't becoming. Ominous start to this clip. That cracked windscreen means the guy we're riding with has previous. So I think it's safe to say he's destined to do something stupid. Well, I stand corrected, sir. My apologies. Let me give you details of my glass man, because if your windscreen wasn't road legal before, it definitely isn't now. The temptation to jump a red light is one that comes across us all on a daily basis. The guy in the green car is positively gripped by it. So desperate is he to jump a light that he's willing to overtake the lawful person in front of him in order to scratch that itch. Come on, mate, know when you're beaten. I know a number of other ways to satisfy temptation. Let me give you the details of Simon, my massage man. He'll see you right. Pop quiz. How slippery do tram tracks get in the rain? Turns out very. Fortunately, there's a taxi on the scene to help you continue your onward journey, and I think you'll all have plenty to talk about on the way. What luck! Hello. Yes, I'm looking for a logistics company that will ensure my delivery makes it to its destination in good time. Congratulations! You've passed the audition. Neil, start bottling up the moonshine. What do you call a pig that drives recklessly? A road hog. Kill me now. The hard shoulder is a great place to pull over if your vehicle is suffering from a mechanical issue and you need to call for assistance. The fast lane, not so much. This guy didn't get the memo. Is there anything worse than suffering from the crippling agony of chronic diarrhea? This guy's already felt the warm embrace of porcelain 6 times today, but the flow shows no sign of drying up. So when he spots some facilities at the side of the road, instinct takes over. Don't worry about apologizing. Just get started on round 7. Let battle commence. To arms! The song Twist and Shout has been performed by a number of different artists. And here's my take. That's the twist. And there's the shout. Coming up later on Car Crash TV, we take to the dance floor for Strictly Car Crashing. Take to the car park for Yorkshire parking news. And take on the laws of probability in Hit or Miss. But first, okay, not sure I like where this one is starting, but it's a short run-up, so I'll be brief and simply say, what happens next? It's barking. Welcome back to Car Crash TV. So what did happen next? Well, in this part of the world, they take personal hygiene very, very seriously. So when someone leaves the lavatory without washing their hands, they release the hounds. Great clip, that. Well done, research team, for finding it. And well done me for not doing the very obvious joke. The roads are a treacherous place at the best of times, and while I work tirelessly to make them safer for you fine folk, there's only so much I can do. And until my idea for the Car Crash TV channel is realized, I'm afraid I won't be able to keep you all safe, though a small donation might aid me in setting it up. You can call the number on screen now to pledge. Every penny counts, and I definitely won't spend your money on fags and creme de menthe. Anyway, where was I? Yes, roads. Treacherous places, aren't they? And even more so when the sun dips below the horizon, and to that end I give you Nighttime Terrors. It's difficult enough driving at night without making the task even tougher by steadfastly refusing to use your windscreen wipers. Lucky boy. Or not. Mustn't have been using his rear wiper either. Right, I need a taxi. Time to fire up the old app. Isn't modern technology wonderful? However, competition between the drivers is fierce, with some even willing to stare death, or as it's sometimes known, a big ruddy lorry in the face, to be the first to a fare. Calm down, guys. It's a growth industry. I know what a taxi and a bus is, but what's a maton? Well, it clearly isn't a Nissan Juke, as the maton we're travelling in is eager to point out. Yes, that's just maton, dressed up as Spam. I'm sorry. Ordinarily, if you told me we were about to see a couple of racy numbers playing about in the wet, I'd be fully on board. But this isn't exactly what I was picturing when I read the clip description. The research team really do need to stop teasing me. Now, while I agree you should use your full beams sparingly, on this road I think it would be okay. And now we don't get to have venison for dinner. Thanks a lot. Good Lord, that must be a hell of a rugby pitch. Those are the biggest posts I've ever seen. Damn it, has Jack been planting his magic beans in Mother Earth again? Yes, the Giants are trying to use cars as rugby balls. Be realistic, chaps. You're never going to score a conversion from that far out. Little rugby joke there for those of you wondering. We judge our lives on our successes and failures. This show, a success. My 3 marriages and counting, all very unique and hideous failures. Now, some would learn from these failures, work on their inadequacies, and go on to become better people. But really, who has the time and energy for that? It's much easier to take this simple conceit and work it into a hilarious game show segment that's fun for all the family. I give you Hit or Miss. And it's a quick start for our first clip, though not as quick as that guy. But is the stupid speeder going to hit this car, or somehow, and let's be honest, it's nigh on impossible, contrive to miss completely? And it's a hit, which should come as no surprise to anyone. Let's hope these get harder, or there could be more hits coming the way of the research team. When driving in the country, you expect to see livestock, barley, and a wealth of inbred locals. What you don't expect to see is some moron inexplicably parked in the middle of the road, like this one. So will we hit the motoring moron, swerve and hit this small wooded area, or swerve, keep control, and miss? And it's a miss. Nice driving, my friend, so I guess you aren't from around here. Ooh, I'd back off a bit, mate. If that chap brakes suddenly, you could find yourself in a spot of bother. As I keep telling my marriage counsellor, no one listens to me. So will our tailgater inspect the back of that Mercedes, get up close and personal with the crash barrier, or use his craft and guile to miss completely? A miss. Thanks, you've just proved my wife's point. And speaking of hateful people, here's a light jumper at work, but by laughing in the face of the rulebook, will this swine hit that car, hit that lamppost, or give me absolutely no catharsis whatsoever and miss? It's a hit. Just. What a relief. That should be just enough satisfaction to get me through the 3-hour session with Dr. Dawson and her. That's your lot, folks, but do join us again soon for further updates on the state of my marriage and more of the nonsense that is Hit or Miss. Is there anything more satisfying than slotting your 4-wheeled friend into a lovely snug parking space? Yes, I get tingly all over when my Volvo settles into a perfect position. What a rush. And there's a place in the north of England where they gain so much satisfaction from this precise motoring maneuver that they've devoted their lives to perfecting it. The place is, of course, Yorkshire, and this is the Yorkshire Parking Bulletin.
Evening all, and welcome to your hot-off-press parking bulletin. We start today in Keighley, and by heck it's balmy. Now, for normal folk, a bit of snow would prohibit them from performing a bit of precision parking, but not the folk of Yorkshire. Fill that tight spot nicely, and just a little adjustment to perfect it. Is this a parking space? The chap up ahead seems to think it is, and he's right. Never doubt a Yorkshireman when it comes to the art of the park. They know their stuff. In this part of the world, we're a tight-knit bunch. We don't take kindly to strangers, and we're always happy to lend our brethren a hand. Look at that, they've never met before. But this fella's taken it upon himself to act as that kid's mentor. Someone pass me a hanky. Round here, we don't take kindly to capitalism, so when some big corporation threw up this monstrosity in Leeds, it sent locals into panic and parking prowess were affected. Fortunately, the parking support group were on hand, with a thermos of Yorkshire's finest and some parking, which soon set this fella right. Take your flat-pack furniture back to Sweden, you hear me? Another act of kindness on display here in Batley, as a parker struggles to settle in a space on account of that blinding sunlight. Fortunately, the last behind senses his distress, and just like that, job's a good one. And finally, in Yorkshire, parking is so cherished, we don't charge for the privilege. So, whoever erected this barrier in Bradford is clearly not from round these parts. That's it, lad. You take it down, and we'll see whoever's responsible for this insult is escorted across the border. Jeff Bird, signing off.
When you see a car or two spinning around on the asphalt, have you thought to yourself, why, that looks just like a pair of ballroom dancers performing an elaborate routine? Well, I have, and yes, while I appreciate I might be reaching a bit here, I get an extra £5 for every idea I bring to the table, and partridge isn't cheap these days, so we're running with it. To that end, then, I give you Strictly Car Crashing.
We start tonight with a samba, so I want to see plenty of hip action. So far, this is pretty rigid. Loosen up, my friend. Much better. Oh, no, you've overcooked it. Too bad. I can only give this a 5.
Next, we have a quick step, and this couple are certainly bringing the required pace to the dance, but do they have a big finish? They do, a lovely bit of drama there, so I'm going to give you an impressive 8. This is supposed to be a waltz, is it? All a bit flat so far, darling. At least throw in some rotation. Better. But in the main, I'm unmoved, I'm afraid. Colour me disappointed, this only gets a 4.
It's a tense start. I sense something big is in the offing. You're certainly whetting my appetite for this foxtrot. Yes, something is definitely stirring, and we're off! Oh, it's over, oh dear, you went too quickly, my darling. 3.
The Charleston is supposed to be a humorous dance, so I'm hoping to be entertained by this one. Nothing funny so far. Are you sure this is a Charleston? It's very dull. That was more tragic than funny, I'm afraid. 2 for the effort, but must do better. Right, darling, I need you to dazzle me with this jive, or we all might as well go home. Tight turn, not bad. Hold it, and now can you give me a big finish? You can. Well, bravo, darling. That was fabulous. 9. Well, that's all for now. I'll see you again soon for more Strictly Car Crashing. It could be a left turn, a right turn, a crossroads, or a roundabout. The word junction encapsulates a number of very simple sections of the highway infrastructure. Simple they might be, but for some reason the motorists around the world find them tricky to tackle. So what word could we use that perfectly describes these people who are bamboozled by the easiest of obstacles? Oh, I know. Jerks! The dictionary definition of a junction is a place where 2 or more roads meet. The dictionary definition of a jerk is a contemptibly foolish person. So I think we can safely say that this guy is really nailing that brief. It's that age-old dilemma, isn't it? Should I just tug the steering wheel to the right and avoid a road traffic accident, or hold my course and make some sort of point about not braking abruptly in heavy traffic? Well, you've made your point, but I can't help but feel it wasn't worth the insurance claim. I've seen a lot of dash cam clips from Russia, a lot. And that's why I'm pretty much permanently on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And in viewing these clips, I've regularly seen one word positioned beneath road signs and traffic lights at the side of the road. Saton. And you know what? I've never taken the time to find out what that means. Stop! Well, yes, I suppose that makes sense. You know what? I'm not on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I think I'm having one. Do you know how many times we've done a junction jerk sequence over the past 4 series? 9! 9 bloody times! And I'm sorry, I can't take this anymore. I'm better than this. I was Hamlet once off Broadway, and I was good. You people are lucky to have me. And you just abuse me week in, week out with this awful monotony. And do I ask for any special treatment? No, I ask for some custard creams. And you can't even get that right. You give me malted melts. Okay, I appreciate the custard cream gesture, it helps. But don't think you can buy me off with cheap offerings. Things need to change round here. Starting with this clip, not a junction, Neil. This belongs in Motorway Madness. So help me, Neil, you'll grasp this if it kills me. Watch and learn. You'd think with it being Christmas that the junction jerks might take a bit of time off from causing havoc on the road. But if anything, they're more active than ever. Come on, guys. Where's your festive spirit? Okay, I'd have preferred the gift of wine, or perhaps a book token. But if this elderly woman is all Santa's got in his sack, then I guess she could take over from Neil. Now that's how it's done.